Lesson related to the comparative study of world's constitution. We will soon resume the whole series of understanding constitutions of the prominent countries, which will be uploaded in upcoming days. Let's begin our today's lesson of comparison, that is in between the constitution of Pakistan and India. Now let's check the introduction of constitutions of both the countries. Here I have briefly illustrated the history of Pakistani constitution. The first Constituent Assembly of Pakistan was elected in December 1945. This assembly passed the objective resolution on 12 March 1949. The assembly was dissolved in October 1954. The second Constituent Assembly was convened in May 1955. That constitution was promulgated on 23 March 1956. In October 7, 1958, martial law was promulgated and the constitution abrogated. A constitution commission in February 1960 framed the 1962 constitution. The 1962 constitution was abrogated on 25 March 1969. The 1970 Assembly framed the 1973 Constitution, which was passed on 12 April and promulgated on 14 August 1973. Constitution of India was adopted on the 26th of November in the year 1949. However, it came to effect on the 26th of January 1950, which is celebrated as the Republic Day of India. The Constitution Assembly was led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now let's begin the comparison. The Constitution of Pakistan 1973 and the Constitution of India 1950 have 5 similarities, and which is written over here. Written Constitution. The first similarity is the written Constitution. Moderately rigid Constitution. Supremacy of the Constitution. It contains fundamental rights. Parliamentary constitutions. We will explain each point explicitly here in this video. Written Constitution. It has 280 articles, 12 part and 7 schedules in Constitution of Pakistan, while in the Constitution of India it contained 395 articles in 22 parts and 8 schedules. In Pakistan, 102 out of 280 articles are amended so far. In India, now after 100 amendments, it is 448. In Pakistan, some of the articles are added, deleted, or substituted. And in India, most of the articles are just added, and it has become a bulkiest constitution. 26th amendment has been made in the Constitution of Pakistan, and in India, only 105 amendment have been made. The moderately rigid constitution. It means the amendment procedure is not very flexible like England or too rigid like America. In Pakistan, the amendment may be originated from either houses with 2/3 majority. If passed without amendment by 2/3 majority in the house to which it is transmitted, it is presented to the President for assent. If it is passed with amendment in the House where it is transmitted, it shall be reconsidered in the former House and then presented to the President for assent. If it is affecting the limit of a province, it has to be passed from Provincial Assembly of that province and then presented to the President for assent. The supremacy of constitution is described in both the constitution in a way that the state derives its existence from the constitution and the powers of the central and state government are delegated by the constitution. Secondly, no organ of a state, executive, legislature, or judiciary can legally exercise a single power which is inconsistent with article of the Constitution. And last, the legislature under the Constitution is merely a subordinate lawmaking body. Fundamental rights in both the Constitution are given here. From Article 9 till 28 has described about the fundamental rights in Pakistani Constitution. Let's discuss some of them. In Article 9, security of person. In Article 10, safeguard as to assault and detention. In Article 11, prohibition of slavery. In Article 14, inviolable right as to dignity and privacy. In Article 15, freedom of movement. In Article 16, freedom of assembly. In Article 18, freedom of lawful occupation. Article 19 discussed about freedom of speech and press. In Article 21, protection from religious taxation. In Article 22, protect religious educational institution. Article 23, right to hold and dispose of property. In Article 25, equality of citizens. In Article 27, no discrimination in services. In Article 28, preservation of language and culture has been described. Let's come to the Indian Constitution. Here, the article from 14 till 18 describe the right to equality, and Article 19 and 22 describe the right to freedom. Article 23 till 24 discussed right against exploitation. Article 25 till 28 discussed the right to freedom of religion. Article 29 till 30 described cultural and educational rights. Article 23 has said about right to constitutional remedies. Here the parliamentary constitution, there are two main factors which is given over here regarding the parliamentary nature of a constitution. The executive authority of the state rests with the Prime Minister. He is the head of Parliament. The President, according to the Constitution, is at the apex, representing the unity of the Republic.